You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
It's time to knock some things off your bucket list. First up, travel the world. If you've always wanted to visit Hong Kong or vacation in the Swiss Alps and wondered what it was like, well, Jeanette, Evette, and Tina got the scoop for you. These jet-setting divas are always at some fun and exotic place experiencing the best of what life has to offer. And each week, they'll tell you all about it. These ladies are always high-flying loads of fun.
Hey, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Evette.
I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas. Hey, ladies, what's going on in the world of travel?
Oh, my goodness. Travel. It's summertime, and people are out there traveling. And people are saying, you know, it's so expensive to, you know, for gas, but people are still doing. They finding that money from somewhere.
Yes. How did you do, Jay? I know you said you did a road trip. How was gas?
I did a family road trip. We split the expenses. I went from Dallas to Arkansas. So me and my mom, we split the expenses on that part. And then I got with my cousins and my brother and my aunt, and we went to St. Louis. And so we split the expenses to that part. Yeah. And then we stayed in a hotel, so we split the expenses there. And then we pretty much went over to family, and when we got there, they pretty much fed us. So that's we were able to cut expenses and not spend as much money. We didn't go out to restaurants pretty much. We just family, we got this to St. Louis. We were visiting family and they fed us.
Good. How about you, Yvette?
That is so awesome. I went to the country this past weekend. I went to a family reunion, and I didn't spend any money.
You didn't have to pay no gas.
You family fed you too.
I was invited.
Yeah. Did you fly there?
No, somebody drove me there.
Oh, somebody drove me.
What town were you in?
You're being evasive. She ain't finna tell us. Well, let me move.
I was in West Texas.
Okay.
That's the country.
That is the country, baby.
That's the country. That is the
country. I was like, if somebody gets sick, is the ambulance gonna be able to come out here? We're gonna be life flighted. Okay. That type of country.
I had a former boss who lived in Kenyon, Texas.
Yeah. Now, how was the weather? How was the weather everywhere? Because I know it was hot. No rain. I mean, no rain.
I had rain in the Midwest. It was raining in St. Louis, but it was hot too before we got the rain.
Yeah, because I know that I went to New Orleans, so I drove. Yeah, and I'm telling you, so when we talk about gas prices, I drove from Dallas to Houston, and then I rode with my niece. Well, my niece rode with me, and we drove all the way to New Orleans. So the total ride from Houston to New Orleans is about 5.5 hours, something like that. And the gas, because we have Buc-ee's, so we always talk about Buc-ee's. #Buc-ee's, and so we could stop at different places, but I gotta say that I feel like I spent the plane. I should have just flew.
I was wondering. I was like, did you drive to Houston and then go from Houston to New Orleans? Seemed like you would have just flew to New Orleans and just met them there.
I would have, but you know what? as you get older, I have a lot of older family members. My aunt, my mom's sister, she's 87, 88. And, my dad's sister, they're getting older. And because, I got family in Louisiana, I took it as an opportunity to stop off and visit
Okay.
some family. And they were very, very excited that I came. So I'm glad I did it. So even though it was a little bit stressful, and Yvette, I even stopped over to one of my aunts out in the neighborhood where you used to live in, and I just went to say hi, and she was like,
And I used to live in Louisiana.
When I went to my Aunt Mary, she lived in South Park.
She's saying your family.
Oh, where my family live. Yeah, I ain't never lived there.
Yeah, where your family. Yeah, she didn't live too far from your mom, so she lives off of Bel Air. Well,
you talking
Bel Air and Belford.
Oh, you talking about in Houston?
Yeah. So that's what I said. I just stopped off and I just saw aunts along the way. So I went to Houston, saw a bunch of aunts. Then I went to Louisiana, saw a bunch of aunts, and bumped into a lot of family.
Good.
That's great, because that's great. That you get to go, and it's summertime and people are traveling, and you get to go and see family that you haven't seen in a long time. Just like in family reunions. I was at a family reunion this weekend, and I ran into it. This is not my family. I ran into people that went to we went to the same high school.
Wow.
Crazy. Yes.
Wow. Were they like from the same town? They were from the same town or something?
They live in Houston.
Okay.
They live in Houston. And they went, although we didn't go to school together, we just went to the same, like somebody graduated in 74, somebody graduated in 79. Somebody graduated in 84. I graduated in 89. We just graduated from the same school and was brought up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I've got a question for you, Tina, about that driving. One thing that I will say, so I drove because I have older family members that were riding with me, my mother and my aunt. They don't like to fly, but I will tell you, with me driving from a 6-hour drive from Dallas to Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and then from Pine Bluff, Arkansas to St. Louis, Missouri, which was a 7-hour drive, I was exhausted when I got back, and I'm still trying to recoup. My body cannot handle those long drives anymore. My body is more able to handle a flight now. So how did you handle that drive? Are you realizing that as you get older, your body can't handle that drive anymore?
Yeah, you know what? My niece drove, which was very helpful for me so I didn't have the stress of just driving the whole way. I drove from Dallas to Houston, but soon as I got in the car, she just took over, and we broke it up actually. So to drive from Houston to our family town, Lafayette, Beaubridge, Louisiana, is about 3 hours. So she drove 3 hours. We stayed at a relative's house, overnight. And then we woke up in the morning and then drove another 2.5 hours to New Orleans. So honestly, it was great going on our way back. As you know, going to Essence Festival, we left on a Monday. It wasn't a lot of traffic, but what they have is a lot of construction.
Yeah.
And that's what, and so, people drive crazy, and that's the part that tired me out, was because it was a straight shot. We left New Orleans, drove. We did stop off in our family town my niece only gave me like 15, 20 minutes to say hi to one other aunt. And then we got back on the road, and she drove the entire way to get to Houston. And then on my way back, I didn't rush to come back. I actually stayed in Houston today. But I'm telling you, I believe, and it's hard when you're riding with someone because you want them to stay up. So I didn't want to fall asleep while she was driving. So I was trying to entertain and talk. And so I was probably tired more doing that.
Yeah. That's one thing about me. I do not want to sleep while somebody, like I'm on a road trip.
Yes.
I need to be able to stay up, talk to the person, and see what's going on.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. But I get it. But I think I don't have a lot of family near me, but I mean I think it was really that was probably the highlight. I went to Essence Festival But I think my highlight was seeing my family, that because we don't, unlike you guys went to family. My family is not doing family reunions anymore because the
Yeah.
older people are saying it is just too hot in the summer and they won't come out. So
Right.
if we don't do something in like the spring or the fall, then we won't see a lot of my family members.
Mhm.
Right. And we don't do family reunions either. I just went with a friend,
Okay.
to a family reunion. It was not my family reunion.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So I just went with someone, and yeah, but a lot of people are flying, and they are trying to get those discounts at the airport. And I
Okay.
would say it is not the time to try to do that.
What happened with you?
What happened?
It is
Because
not
we were trying to get one
time.
this week.
Oh my goodness. So we are flying on Friday last minute and trying to save a couple of dollars. And it is not worth it.
It ain't
is
worth it.
No, I would say
This
it
is
is,
what they
Yvette, because
are
in this
doing.
economy,
No,
everything is unaffordable, so
no.
it's worth it.
Listen to what I am saying. It is not worth it. This is what the airlines are doing. That gives you the discount when you go up to the gate or the counter. What they're doing is they're calling everybody. If you're buying a ticket, they leaving you standing there.
I've heard that. I have
Mhm.
heard
They
that.
are leaving you standing there. They are saying, if you have a flight that's leaving today, come on, next. You have a flight that's leaving today, next. You have a flight that's leaving today, next.
So
And
how long
the
did you
people-
stay? How long did
I
you
was
stand
in
waiting?
that airport, I swear, I think because I was doing two different airlines, and they was not letting, they was not
So
never
they really don't want to sell. They really don't want to sell
Right.
a
Mhm.
no.
It's really
Okay.
They are not calling you at all whatsoever. Those people that was in line while I was in line, they probably still standing there.
And you know what? You probably could have went through the line and act like you was getting ready to change your flight and buy a new ticket.
But this is what they were doing. They would say something like next, and I would be like, go, just walk on up there, and people just be standing there. Oh,
Yeah.
but they not calling. They just want the people who's checking in. I'm
No.
like, just walk on up there. Okay, so I went to Sun Country.
Okay.
And I was standing in a line, and a lady said, "You're in the wrong line. You got to go get in that line." I said, "Well, you saw me standing there. Why didn't you tell me from the get-go to go to where I needed to go?" And she never said anything. So I finally went in the right line. The line moved on. Once I got up to the counter, I said, "I want to purchase a ticket." She said, "I have many other people that's getting on flights today. So you're going to have to just step to the side and wait."
Wow.
Yeah. So you know what? So the convenience of getting a cheaper ticket. Well, we probably would save like 40, 60 bucks maybe. You're saying that it ain't even worth it.
Yeah. And so there was 3 people working. And so one of the ladies finished at the end. So I walked up there and I said, "I want to purchase a ticket." She acted like she didn't know how to do it. She
Wow.
called somebody over the phone.
Yeah.
And she said, "You're going to have to go back to that lady over there." I said, "She's ignoring me. She's not assisting me." And so she walked over there and was like, "This lady needs to buy a ticket." And she finally helped me. Okay.
Wow. So you just had to be insistent.
Yes.
How much money did you save for 2 people while you were
I
insistent?
don't even know if it was even a saving.
Okay, so
I don't even know.
so on our
and
next
money.
week episode, we'll
And
let
then
you all
I
know how
left
much money
that
we
one
saved.
because I wanted flights at a certain time. I didn't book the same airline. So now I'm gonna go over to Frontier. Frontier, you ain't getting nothing.
They
No,
hate you. They hate us.
they hate. They was like, "Nope, no can do." Next person that's flying today, they would not sell tickets.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
left
Wow.
people standing in the line.
And I think right now at this point, they know that people can get these deals. They go online, they
Yeah.
see the price. I'm gonna just go stand in line, and it is a hassle because they're not getting. Remember, we were traveling Frontier before, and they used to get some kind of incentive because they could get bag
Yeah.
fees and all this other
Mhm.
stuff.
Can't do
But
that.
Yeah.
they can't do that
Yeah.
anymore. So I think that they're like, it's not even worth us even trying to sell tickets.
They will not sell it.
I mean, I even heard people said there was nobody in line. There was no like early morning, nobody even
That's
flying.
what I wondered. Because Yvette, you went in the middle of the day. You went at the peak hour at lunch.
What I'm saying is they said that there was even no one standing there.
And they still wouldn't sell.
Left them just standing there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't matter what time you go.
So it was maybe about 5 people working. It was a lot of people working. And then all of a sudden 3 will disappear. And they'd be like, okay, where did people go? They went on lunch. They went to break.
So it doesn't matter when you.
Like,
I thought it was because she did go at the height of the day. So it wasn't like she went at the slow time early in the morning. So I thought maybe that was a thing. You could go early in the morning.
I don't know. I got over there maybe about 11 something, I think.
Yeah.
But that was when it was probably busy.
Yeah, it was very.
I don't think it matters. I just don't think they want to do it anymore.
They don't.
I don't think they want. They don't. They probably would be okay if they remove sales from their whole counter, because we already know. Everybody don't know, and that's the thing. Everybody don't know that you can go and purchase a ticket. But I think now that it becomes so common that people would just buy tickets at the counter instead of buying it online, that it used to be just a kind of a treat that you could buy the ticket. Now it's become like a way of doing things, and they don't like that. I don't think so.
They don't even have a designated line, to buy the ticket. When we last did it, there was just like one area.
There was,
and there go one of those hashtags.
Let me tell you, okay, this is another thing, and people need to watch out for this. So people were in line having to rebook because Frontier was closing their doors early.
What you mean?
They was closing the airplane doors early and making people miss their flights.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people was having to rebook. And people were saying, my flight was leaving at 1:20 and I was there at 1:15 and the or at 1 o'clock or whatever,
whatever boarding time. The boarding time.
And they are closing the doors early. So if you flying with them, you better get on that plane early.
Get on, So whatever the boarding time is, be there 30 minutes. Make sure you're there 30 minutes before the boarding time.
There was so many rebooks.
Wow.
Because they were not letting people on the plane. They wasn't. And once that door is shut, it's shut, baby. They not letting you on there.
You know what? I think that I have been saying airlines are playing games these days.
Yes.
They are playing games. So when they say, because I actually was on the phone talking to someone from Frontier, and they kept stating, I was like, how much is the ticket? How much is the ticket? And they kept stating the ticket is only, X amount of dollars. It's cheaper to go ahead and get it with me. They just kept saying, and I'm like, oh, I may just go up there to the counter. And no, don't go. They were discouraging me from going to the counter to buy.
Want you to do that.
They do not want you to do that anymore.
Oh, wow.
They want to book you the change fee, and they want to get the upcharge, for last minute stuff or whatever. So I'm starting to see the trend. I'm gonna say hashtag we miss Spirit, because Spirit had a designated sales counter.
Yes.
and I said Spirit is gone now. And I think we have a Spirit mentality, but Sun Country, Frontier, they like, we not having all that nonsense right now.
Right. They don't want you to. They
no deals. There are no deals. I even looked for deals as far as going overseas, because I see some groups, and I know, and I've got friends who've asked me about going overseas within the next few months. And not that I'm able to actually do it, but I just wanted to check and see about, okay, if I wanted to fly from Dallas. I've got a friend who wants to go to Tokyo. And I know a few years ago, you could go from Dallas to Tokyo for $700-800. And so I was just going to check just to be nosy and see what the price was like. And I know inflation is out of control, and I know everything is unaffordable, but that flight a few years ago was round trip was $800. And I looked now and it's $1,400. And everything is unaffordable. Nothing, no deals. There's no deals for us anymore. No deals, no airline deals.
But I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Nothing.
I feel like we as people are messing up things because I went to Essence Festival. So what I'm gonna give y'all I'll never have to go to Essence Festival ever
Wow.
again. So I'm gonna start with that because one, I feel like whoever's doing Essence Festival now, they don't have the promotion skill. I mean, there was so many bottlenecks. People stand hundreds and hundreds of people standing in the heat waiting to get into the convention center that opened at 10 o'clock a.m. had gotten there at 9. They didn't get in until after 10 because they didn't have organization, they didn't have
Oh,
staffing,
goodness.
they didn't have a better process. That was one part of it. The other part of it, they need to move it out of New Orleans because the local people, not only did they come with wagons, they came with suitcases, those huge suitcases. They should not even have been allowed to go in the convention center with
I
you want
remember.
big body bag suitcases, and they was just dumping things in. They bring in all
Wow.
their kids, and every kid wants to get a bag. So I think they've changed the whole beauty con where once you get in, you have to go out to a different area and stand in another line to get in beauty con. I never a fight at Essence Festival. Broke down
Oh my goodness.
they had fights. I even seen a lady steal a bag. And I'm gonna tell you, I even had to go off on a lady because we were taking, they have concerts. So Pastor Mike Jr. was there. So we would, stop listening. So there was a gap in the line. These ladies just came and just got in front of all of us. And so I was like, where did y'all come from? This is and she said, we were here. We were like, no. So everybody started, it was mad confusion, no security.
Wow.
And I don't have to go ever again. And I think that and then there was so many people, you could only get, I literally could only get so many things because otherwise you'd have to go back and stand in a long, long, long 2-hour line. I
Mm.
can't do it. And my back,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
can't
Just go to the store and buy it.
just buy it.
I saw something online about the lines. They were closing down certain lines because there was and keeping people and not letting people in because it was overcrowding.
Yeah, so when I tell you, I had never been the fire marshals were at every little station. And when it got so many people there, they literally, I think we went day 1, no, we went day 2 or like a Saturday morning. They shut the end. I got there at 10 by 11:30. Thank goodness I had already gotten what I was going to get. They said everything's closed. They will not allow us to give out any bags. Nobody can stand in line. So they made everybody just get out of the line and go. And then of course you see the people kind of hovering around waiting. And so they said come back at noon, say. At noon, they said it was too many people hovering around. They said, no, we'll let y'all know. And they said there are no products. They were told to tell people there are no products. Come back tomorrow. But then again, but eventually they opened the lines like maybe a couple of hours later. It was crazy. It wasn't worth
Well,
it.
I'm glad that you didn't get into a fight there.
It could have been ugly because it was more of the lady was just lying. I watched because I was watching the concert, but I was watching the line and I was like, those people need to go ahead and move. And I watched them just walk from like out of the aisle and just come and just jump in front of people. And girl, it was for some always with them little them period draws. It was the period draws. And I didn't even want to be in a damn line. I was just in a line with my niece. And then she was like, they only giving 3X. They only was giving 3X the size.
Oh wow.
Girl, I'm done.
You can't even fit them.
Did you go to the concert?
I didn't go to any concert. You know what? After the fiasco when they were saying how people, and it happened again, even though they'll tell you that the concert started on time, everybody complained.
I read something. Yeah, it didn't.
6 p.m. at a concert and you ain't getting out until 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't have done it. They said Brandy or Monica didn't even get done until after 2:30 a.m.
Mm.
I would have been in that seat sleeping.
sleep. Just like we talked about last week, I would have been sleeping, and they said it was too many long of a break. Like I think after Patti LaBelle, after somebody, there was a 2-hour break before the next person came on. And then they had stuff like Michelle Obama. We love Michelle Obama, but the millennials and Gen Zs, they don't want to see Michelle Obama at a concert. And apparently that was just a bad move because everybody was screaming and they got antsy and then started talking while Michelle Obama is doing her 1 hour and so little spiel. They didn't want to hear that. They was ready for the music. So it was a little, and I don't know why they didn't have her at the convention center. But anyway,
that's where she should have been at. That crowd would have wanted to hear her. Older crowd.
So yeah, so it was poorly organized, and it was just it wasn't full. Apparently, I mean, they were literally at the convention center begging people to go buy tickets to go to the concert, giving discounts and giving free upgrade. What they were doing is they said if you buy a ticket or you already have a ticket and they have seats like in the front, they would almost like swap out your ticket so you can move up closer.
Oh wow!
I mean, that's just how desperate they were to get people to go to the concerts, and because I guess people probably bought cheap tickets, they probably way in the nosebleed, so you can actually go and swap your ticket and move down closer. I'm like, I'm good.
I wonder who was the main performer at the Saturday night. Was it Brandy and Monica?
Yeah, well, Cardi B. Well, Cardi B might have been. Yeah, so Cardi B may have been Friday. Well, she might have been the opener, but it was Brandy, Monica. They had a T.I. They had, Babyface was there. I mean, they had a great lineup. I think they was trying to mix in the aunties with the millennials, but I think they shouldn't do all of us together on the same night because the aunties do not want to see the same show as the millennials. I did not want to see, all of that pop that coochie stuff, going on and, have dressed people. And I mean, I could have did the, Aaliyah tribute and, like George Clinton. It was just,
it just didn't work.
I ain't got to go here. I ain't got to go.
Okay.
I ain't got to go.
All right.
So when it comes down to it, I think, a lot of people travel. It was a busy weekend. It was supposed to be, 250 years of them being in, independent. And it was very much called out. It was called July Juneteenth. It was not called the 250th celebration.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, that's how it goes. And, I'm glad everybody made it back safely. And we're ready to travel again in the next couple of days.
Yep.
Well, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Yvette.
And I'm Tina. And we are the Jet Setting Divas.
Please like and subscribe to Jet Setting Divas.
Tune in next Thursday when the Jet Setting Divas will tell you about another fun destination spot that you'll want to visit. For more on their excursions, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Welcome to Old National Bank.
I understand you're all about protection.
Well, we protect you in all kinds of ways, with advanced fraud monitoring and secure digital banking to protect you today, and with dedicated personal bankers to protect your tomorrow.
I'm impressed.
Protection for today and tomorrow.
Could I just...
Oh, go for it.
Old National Bank. Just another reason to get old.
Where'd you get this?
It came with my couch.
Were you counting on a personal care assistant or autism provider who is no longer able to provide services for your child this summer? Don't panic. The Minnesota Department of Human Services just finished an urgent statewide effort to make sure providers of high-risk Medicaid services fully comply with state requirements to provide quality care. The department recently completed a top-to-bottom compliance review of almost 5,600 providers of high-risk services, including personal care assistance and autism programs. If your child's provider was disenrolled, it is time to be proactive. Let me ask you a question. Does your child have a case manager? They usually can help you find a new provider. If your child does not have one, the department will be reaching out to you directly to make sure you know how to find someone new. Understand what's happening and how to get help at mn.gov/DHS/find-care.
Our mission is to positively impact and enhance the lives of those who serve or served. So the support center, we built this as a place to really be a community center for those that we serve, those vets, those first responders, and then their families. It's a place where they can go be with other people in a safe, healthy, welcoming space. Our support center has a big focus on the arts, because the arts are something that help our people heal. We have a large wood shop, a laser room where we laser engrave, wood, metal, plastic, glass, slate, all kinds of different things. And then we have an art studio where we paint and we color and we draw and thread work. And we have a 3D printer in there. Then we also have a gym. We also have access in our space to immediate access to therapists and support that way. So, when people are having a tough day, or they just say, today is the day I need to talk to somebody. At a normal place, it's really hard for you to just walk in and get that support, whereas here we have that.